Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So I'll so these are my personal information. The topic which I'll be dealing is between love and power. How love triangle reflect India's complex struggle in the home and the world. So my research question: how do the love triangle in the home and the world reflect the complex societal and political struggle of India during the colonial period? Hypothesis. The love triangle in the home and the world serves as a microscope of a larger societal and political conflict of India during the British colonial rule, highlighting the tradition and modernity, individual desire and collective responsibilities, and the struggle for independence. So yes, the first topic, that is Tagore's novel as a window into colonial India. uh, the social dynamics in which the nationalism in India intertwined traditional cultural values with selective borrowing from Western ideas. And here the word home, which becomes a symbolic realm for the like perseveration for moral identity, especially for the women women like Bimla. And the world represents materialism, public life, and operation dominated by men. A political landscape, which the novel explores the rise of nationalism and the complexities of political movement, highlighting the conflict between the tradition and modern. Personal stories in which we'll see the novel reveals the personal struggles of individualism caught in the midst of this turbulent time, highlighting the impact of colonialism of individual life. Now, we'll go through the characters so that we can get to know. The first one is Bimla, who is a young independent. Okay. Bimla is a young woman caught between the traditional values and her family progressive ideas, as her upbringing was like that. And later she tries to live behind the patriarchal and just tries to step out from the her domestic life. Nikhil, who is a wealthy and influential landowner, who is deeply involved in the nationalist movement and sacrifices for we can see how he remains quiet even though he knows about the Bimla and Sandeep's affair. So next one is Sandeep. Sandeep is a young revolutionary who inspires Bimla with his passion and ideals, but also possesses a threat to Nikhil's authority, believes in achieving goals by force. We can see that. Okay. In Bimla's journey between the private and public spheres, the domestic life, which is associated with the character of Bimla, that how she is like living in a traditional family, and her like her whole life is revolving around the family. But at the end, in the middle, also we can see that she enjoys a sense of independence in her domestic world, but remains unaware of political movement occurring outside because of her lack of knowledge and all that. She faces that political awakening. She begins to step out of her sheltered existence and take part in the public sphere, embracing the nationalist cause. Sandeep's revolutionary discourse awakens Bimla's consciousness of the larger political struggle of India. Personal growth. Bimla's education leads her out of a Zen into a space between home and the world. Her attraction to Sandeep represents her rebellion against domesticity. However, her actions lead to personal guilt and the destabilization of her home. Sandeep's revolutionary rhetoric and its impact on Bimla, like how Sandeep's influence was seen on Bimla, that how she was influenced by the speech of Sandeep, like the way he was portraying himself and his. Okay. Revolutionary ideals. Sandeep's fiery speech ignite a spark of rebellion in Bimla, awakening her to the injustice of colonialism. Personal transformation in Bimla. we can see that how she is questioning the societal expectations, where she was her upbringing was almost different, but when she heard from the Sandeep about the political issues which were going outside, and due to her lack of knowledge she faces yes, the struggle. Love and politics. Bimla's feeling of love are increasingly influenced by her involvement in politics. Her emotional conflict reflects the tension between personal loyalty and political ideals. Her love for Sandeep leads her to take actions that conflict with her loyalty to nation. The power dynamics at play in the love triangle. Yes, we can see this triangle over here, as Nikhil as a character who is much more traditional and emotional compared to Sandeep. The Sandeep who is the one who wants to gain power anyhow. Uh, he has no ethics, we can say. And Bimla, who is caught in the middle, unaware about the proper, we can say, truth, and still she wants to she decides, because over here we can see that how lack of knowledge, lack of education can create a great disaster, like Bimla's confusion and emotional conflict, in internal conflict of Bimla, like how due to the her choice of supporting Sandeep leads her to the like um, uh, risk her marriage. Tagore's insight into the personal and political in colonial India. His work challenges readers to think about the limitations of nationalism and cosmopolitanism, and to seek deeper connections to humanity. Tagore's refusal to sing Bande Mataram was shown as his disconnection from nationalism, which contrasts with his romanticized view on India. Over here, Yist is also trying to uh, compliment Tagore, that even though he doesn't Yist is not properly no no understanding Indian words, some of the, but still he's trying to appreciate Tagore about his work. Like Tagore's poetry, particularly the Gitanjali, stirs emotions that go beyond a simple love for people or things. Justice for and freedom. The novel examines the yearning for justice and freedom, emphasizing the impact of colonialism on the pursuit of individual and national aspirations. In his essay Nationalism, Tagore argues that nationalism can lead to a false sense of unity that doesn't allow true human growth. His critique is not just colonialism, but also the imperial and the nationalist ideologies that create division between the people. Change and transformation. Tagore was deeply affected by the global turmoil of his time, particularly after World War One. And the Tagore's desire for change is not simply about avoiding loss, but about seeing destruction as a potential for renewal. Tagore's writing captures the complex dynamics of change and transformation, exploring the challenges and possibilities of navigating a changing world. So, conclusion. Um, the triangle ultimately highlights the tension between the personal desire and political ideals. Bimla's attraction to the Sandeep stems from his fervor and intensity, which stand in stark contrast to Nichols' calm and intellectual approach. However, over time, she comes to realize the destructive nature of Sandeep's influence, especially when he argues her to abandon her domestic life for a radical external cause. The love triangle thus serves as a metaphor for the struggle between a personal relationship and the larger political and social upheavals of the time. Yes. So, these are my references, and thank you. Now, I'm open for questions.
My question is that what message the novel conveys about balancing personal and national ideals?
Okay. So, um, the message of the novel convey about balancing personal and national life. Over here, it's up to an individual, like how one is like depends on their level of education about, on their proportion of their information they have. Because like whatever let's take an example, that some of them is any of them is having a less information about, let's take Bimla only, like how she was having a lack of knowledge about a particular topic, till still she decides to like jump into such. So I think so depends on that. Yes.
My question is that how does the love triangle reflect India's struggles?
Okay. The As I mentioned, and repeating it, that Nikhil is the one who is a traditional one, the Sandeep who is a modern bit, and Bimla the one who is like unaware about the struggle or whatever is ongoing outside the world. As her home is she was only into the home, like having a responsibility about his own family and never stepped out of her home. So over there, this three can create such. So thank you.